So why don't you have any photos on your Instagram?
Um, let me
Now I'm taking over this interview.
clearly. At the end of last year, I was working with a bunch of different production companies and people, and I decided at the beginning of this year that I was going to stop all doing all that stuff and only work on the projects that I'm working on. And I have 3 TV shows that are all in different stages of development, or were. Unfortunately, right now, we're all in the back burner. And so, yeah, I just decided I was going to start over. How's it going?
Hey, it's going, you know?
Why don't you tell everybody what you do for a living? Let's start there.
Oh gosh, it might take a book. you know, I have been in the beauty industry for the last 13 years. I used to own a hair salon. I ended up parting my ways with owning the salon so I could work a little bit more remote. I took a little break from hair for a little bit and focused on a few other things, utilizing my skills with sales, marketing, and now I am the CEO of a luxury hand sanitizer company that I started. It's going on, well, it was about 2 weeks before we got our stay-at-home order. So a little crazy right now, but it's
I want to talk about this hand sanitizer, but let's reverse back a little bit. So you were cutting hair. You went to what is it, cosmetology school? Is that what it is?
cosmetology school. Yeah, I am originally from Illinois. I moved to California 9 years ago and sold all of my stuff. Came here with $2,000, and I learned real quick that's gonna get me nowhere. And yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
So you went to school in Chicago, or you went to here?
Well, I'm actually from Illinois, Antioch, Illinois. So it's a small country town on the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. And I went to cosmetology school at a place in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And I did hair for about 4 years back home and realized I wasn't getting any younger. And it was time for me to, take that leap of faith and move to California. And I hit my goals. I wanted to move here. I wanted to become a celebrity hairstylist. I did that. I won a show called The Battle of Beauty in the hair industry. So it's through Michael Vincent Academy or Michael Vincent Studios downtown LA. And I had my feature in People magazine, did all this crazy, cool, fun stuff. And, here we are.
Did you know anybody when you first moved out here, or did you just pack up your stuff and just...
So, great question. Before I moved here, I was about 2 months prior is when I finally decided I was going to take the leap of faith. I went and visited Oceanside, California, and I had never been to Orange County, Newport Beach for that matter, where I live currently. And my cousin, he's a very successful businessman, a founder of Opus Banks, and he opened up branches here. So they moved here 4 months prior to me moving here. So I called him up and I was like, can I please live with you guys for a couple months? And I lived there for about 2 months, and then I met a roommate. So I'd never been to Orange County. Fortunately, my cousin's wife knew of this great salon. At the time, they were rated #1 in Orange County by the OC registry. So I went and tried out, got the job there, and that's where I started, the progression of my hairstylist career.
So you started there, you're cutting hair on a weekly basis kind of a situation every day. How do you transition from cutting random people's hair to celebrity?
That's another great question. So, it's building a clientele. It's all of like, it's connections. So, I fortunately had a client of mine that introduced me to another Amanda Bynes, and that's where my first client that was a celebrity. It was fun. And then I had another client who got me in contact with a producer of Battle of Beauty. And that's kind of like where my career really peaked off. And then I did an interview with People Magazine, and I was able to go to like the Ones to Watch Stars party. And, being from a small town and getting that, like, was probably the coolest feeling you can imagine. Like, it's so surreal. My family has been in the fashion industry my whole life. My father was a higher up for Candies, Shoes, Steve Madden, LEI, Bongos, and Chinese Laundry. So in the shoe business. And before that, my grandparents and my great-grandparents. So I've been around celebrities, but it was more so, just through the connections that I've made. And, in California in general, it's all about who that's going to help you progress, and it has its upsides and its downsides. But that would be, that was where that progression, I hustled. And, I went out there, promoted myself, waited. I sat in that chair for 8 hours if I had to build the clientele, because again, I didn't know anybody out here. And, my cousin that is here, they don't know many people, at that point in time as well. So fortunately I was working at a pretty popular salon. So we did get walk-ins, and then I did make friends and, so on and so forth.
And so so when do you leave that first salon to just go full on celebrity? Or do you kind of keep it as like a side hustle kind of a thing, or are you doing them both? Or
the first salon I was at for 4 years. It's Salon Diva, Laguna Niguel, great salon, loved it. But I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. So for me, I saw an opportunity. I went and opened Lobianco in Mission Viejo. It was on the lake. It was in a salon suite. And so I had that, and I had another girl who was renting a few days a week from me, which allowed me to, I used to travel to LA to MVA studios to do, I would teach like seminars for, anywhere from being confident within your business and how to, talk to someone without letting them intimidate you, because unfortunately that happens a lot. And I would travel back and forth, and they do a lot of music videos and on set. So after doing that TV show and meeting that client, I was still doing my clients like on my day-to-day basis, but that was kind of more after work hours. So I would, on every Tuesday, I knew that I had to drive out to LA at 5 p.m. and I wasn't getting home until midnight. It began to take its toll, so I wasn't able to do it for a significant more or time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It was funny because the word talk came out a second ago, so I just kind of got thrown off there.
Oh,
Sure, I'm from the East Coast, so there's certain words that come out once in a while for me too.
Where in the East Coast are you from?
Massachusetts originally.
Oh, okay.
You are at, how do you spell Lobianco, right?
Lobianco. So no, Lobianco, I ended up, so, we all have challenges and adversities in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Lobianco, and I was in a pretty dark place for a little bit. My father had tragically passed away. And then not right after, but about a year and a half, 2 years later, my house burned down. And it was, pretty crazy. And I was already at the lowest point, like right when that happened. So it was a blessing, but I needed to part ways because I felt as if I didn't want to have a home base in a studio because I was trying to work more mobile, and paying to have that and then also trying to do mobile, it doesn't make sense. And it's almost like a self-sabotage, which I got this constructive criticism from a very successful salon owner that put me in my place to the point of where I had to leave this restaurant I was at because he was so right. He's like, why do you have a studio? Why aren't you in like a super high-end salon, like and building more connections? Like, are you trying to do self-sabotage? And I'm like, first of all, calm down. Like, I didn't come here for this. So Lobianco, I have not had my salon now about 3.5 years. I parted ways, but Lobianco for me was also kind of like I had like an attachment to it, an emotional attachment. It was Lobianco is my great grandfather moved over from Sicily. It's our name. My father passing away, we always wanted to change it back to Lobianco because when my great grandfather moved over from Sicily, he changed it to white, which is bianco in Italian, because back in the day, coming off the boat from Italy, and you're Sicilian, he didn't want to have it wreck his shoe store, so he changed it to white. So it's just a sentimental thing, but I don't regret it, like, at all, in the slightest bit. I've learned I didn't do anything wrong, but brought in my success as, as an entrepreneur, as a business role model, and, the adversities and challenges have completely made me numb to coronavirus.
Now you part ways from Lobianco.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? What's after that?
After I parted ways with Lobianco, you want me to go down my timeline?
Oh, yeah.
Shit. I parted ways with Lobianco and I started nannying. And I was nannying for a family that I got very close to. And it was really crazy to enter a world where I'm getting paid like a base. Like, I've never had a job where I know what I'm going to make every week. And it was like very comforting having that consistency. And so I started doing that. So I was able to build up like a crunch of money to go back and do my other goals within the industry. So I started doing that. I did it for about 8 months. And then I got a really, really great job offer with a company called Sculpting. And I went from being, running a location, like kind of managerial role, to becoming the national director of the company in a matter of like 4 months. And that was really, really, really great. And it's still in my same industry because it's non-invasive, like body sculpting, it's still a part of.
What is it? Is it like cool sculpting or like that kind of stuff?
So cool sculpting, it's similar to cool sculpting in the sense of it's getting rid of like either unwanted fat cells, tightening and lifting, restoring collagen, improving the elasticity of your skin. But the difference between cool sculpting and sculpting is we're using more heat-driven radio frequency, ultrasonic cavitation, and you get results after every treatment. Cool sculpting, you don't get results until, and I don't want to be quoted, I believe it's 6 weeks after you get a treatment, and the pricing is way different with it. So
cool sculpting is more expensive than
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool sculpting is in the thousands, anywhere from, I think the cheapest I've heard is $700 a treatment. Yeah. And whereas this, it's anywhere from, $100 to $300 a treatment. So I started doing that and traveling, working trade shows with them. And it really sparked, me learning my value in sales and how good I am at it. I sold a lot of machines and it just opened connections for me. And then we're going on November. Was that how many months ago? November, whatever many months.
I don't even know. We're in month 5 right now. So yeah, 6 months ago or whatever, or 7 months ago. Yeah.
So in November, I had found a salon because hair is still part of my passion. And the salon owner, it's called the Balcony Salon. It's in Newport Beach off of PCH. The owner worked with me and was letting me rebuild a clientele because I also wanted to target a different audience. Having my salon and living in California for the last 6 years prior, I've built this clientele, but like you can't go and raise your prices. You know, you have to either cut your ties, keep a few clients you want to keep, and then progress. And so I kept a few clients that I would still work with pricing with them. But I wanted to get into more of a higher end salon and then, you know, pursue my career in hair. So they worked with me on it, and then I started building my clientele, and I decided that I was going to part ways with Insta Sculpting, and I would do it like more so as like a commission base at that point. You know, if I referred anything to any one of either the locations for clients or potential machine buyers, I would still make a commission, but it wasn't a primary job with the salary anymore. And when I got onto the salon, I ended up joining a company called Phoenix Marketing that actually did our marketing for Insta Sculpting. And the owner of the company is a very good girlfriend of mine. And so I was helping her out and being her like right hand and building my clientele at the Balcony Salon. So currently, I am still with the Balcony Salon. We are not able to take clients, but I'm still with them. And I, in the meantime, brainstormed and I started Sani. And Sani is my luxury hand sanitizer company. It is doing very well. It's a lot of work. So, but it's really cool because it's opened up so much more, you know, of utilizing what I'm good at and creating a product and learning sourcing and learning, you know, how to brand yourself as a product versus branding myself as a person has been really, really cool and, you know, feeds your brain.
Let's reverse back a little bit. So you still have, I don't even know how to, is it you rent a chair in the salon or you are a partner in this? How does that work in that world?
Okay, so at the Balcony Salon, you rent a chair. So if you can do part-time, full-time, depending on that would be, you know, what your weekly rent is. And so you pay like a weekly rent and all your, you know, everything you make goes directly to you. So it's like just like a set, you know, if you do 2 days, it comes out to like $1 or $280 or something. So you just want to make sure those days are booked up.
You have your own chair, or do you roll in your stuff every time? I mean,
oh no, you have your own chair, you have your own, you know, locker to put your color. It's essentially the same thing as if you were working for a salon. It's just this is where you're renting. Now, if we had more than, like if we have, let's say 6 chairs, but we have 8 people, then the people that are going to be part-time, they're going to share that space, but there's enough room to, you know, share it.
You're doing the salon down in OC. What happened to doing the celebrity style of it? Like, you know, like there's a company that I know of called The Wall Group. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, where they basically book out hair people and makeup and all that stuff like that. So I just didn't know if you were ever thinking of, or you were ever trying to make that transition that way, or if where your transitions are going, where you're going to right now.
So fortunately, I've gained a lot of connections. So I do get asked to work, you know, on set a lot. Like I worked with Ty Dolla $ign, Wiz Khalifa, and I'll get texts here and there asking if, you know, hey, can you come do this? Or from different hair care lines. I've helped out. I work on set with their, you know, whether it be their content for social media or the commercials that they would, you know, televise, or just pictures for their website. So I still have that right now, you know, during this time. It's a little challenging because we don't really have those options right now. I've thought about, you know, reaching out and working with a few other companies like the one you had said. You know, there's other groups that you can join. I haven't had to go that route due to having my own personal connections. I still have clients that I take that are, you know, at a higher status and, you know, a celebrity aspect, but that's more of like doing their hair, you know, their touch-ups or their extensions or whatever it may be. Right now, I think the biggest transition is just getting back into the, you know, non-essential salon.
Yeah, I mean, why give somebody percentages if you're booking your old job? It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense, anyways. So let's talk about you. So your salon is closed right now. They're not taking any customers at all,
No, yeah, we are closed. We are.
and uh, and there's no way around that. I mean, putting on gloves and putting on a mask.
That's a great question as well. Are there ways around it? Sure, but um, not something that, I think like I'll take clients. I for sure would. But we're not open. So I just think I don't really know where to leave that other than right there.
It's just because I scream at my person who cuts my hair all the time because she won't go back into work. I'm like, yo, I'm becoming Fabio here. It's
So yes, I am doing hair. Whether it's in the salon or not in the salon, that's it for someone to make their own opinion on if I'm doing it. But I will take clients. I have my masks and all that, blah, blah, blah. Everything is sanitized. It's great. It's mostly been like friends, people I'm closer to. But like the legality aspect of it, the balcony salon is not open and we're really hurting and it sucks. But
all right, so now let's go into hand sanitizer. And how did that come about, aside from the pandemic that we're in right now? But I mean,
so, funny story. I was on my computer and I was talking to the owner of Athenex because I was still at the time working with her, and we were just trying to brainstorm ideas, and I was like, I want to make a hand sanitizer. I'm just like, what? I'm like, no, I want to I'm serious, but I want it to be bougie. Like, I want it to be like something, because I'm not going to, bash other companies, but I want something that's tasteful to where it's when you pull it out, people are going to ask you what that is because it's not essentially what you would think hand sanitizer looks like.
right.
So I started working with fonts and coming up with scent ideas, and then, trial and error of getting the formula right and getting compliant with the FDA, because I see a longevity with it, and on top of it, I'm doing a hand sanitizer that's different, that has more of a statement outside of a basic, just your generic hand sanitizer. And because I want to, go further with it. And we are going on to Amazon, which is incredible. So and that's where it started. And then I started learning, oh gosh, I learned quite a bit. For one, sourcing is very difficult, and a lot of people try to nickel and dime you. That was my first batch, my first order of bottling. The product I used, I did create my own ingredient, and getting it tested, that was another thing that was really challenging, because right now with everything that's going on, it's really difficult. So then I had reached out, found someone who has a testing strip, so you can make sure your alcohol grades are correct and you're in the compliancy, because you cannot get an approval right now with the FDA and have it stamped. So that was a really cool trial and error. And then the packaging, the labeling. So I'm one of those people, I just put way too much on my shoulder. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start doing my own labeling. I'm going to show you guys. You want me to show you? Hold on. Let me grab one. So my first trial and error, where are we? Because of course I got to save. So I purchased a Cricut, which is a machine that you can put in your logo and it cuts it out and it goes onto a vinyl and you can do it. So I started doing this, and I was doing them all myself. And I was like, yes, we got 200 bottles done. That's great. So then I was able to throw it out there. Gone. No, that was the worst idea. And it took me about 2 weeks to do all that. It was horrible.
Why does the FDA have to be involved in this? Isn't there, not all cosmetics are FDA approved, correct?
Because it's hand sanitizer, and if you are a lower grade of alcohol beyond, so there's 2 different alcohols you can use, either at 60%, 70%. If you're below that, essentially you're not considered a sanitation
Yeah, no, I just because I have one of my really close friends is a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, and he was trying to do, um, I don't know, face cream or something like that, but it was organic, and he didn't really have to go through because there was no way. Maybe there's no alcohol in it or something. There's something that obviously that he didn't have to go through the FDA to do it. So
Exactly. So something like that, as long as they're not claiming they're a medical skincare line and it's more so an aesthetics, that's different. But because hand sanitizer is more, it's a safety, like it's not considered cosmetic.
okay.
That would be why it's important. And a lot of people were getting in trouble because they're saying, oh, our hand sanitizer is, they're cooking it in their kitchen and like, oh, our hand sanitizer it's at least 60%, which means that I can kill, the virus or germs or whatever. But it wasn't because they were cooking it or creating it in their kitchen.
All right.
And so that's where, that you can't say you're FDA compliant if you're not, because you'll get yourself in some trouble.
Makes sense. I'm glad at least they're covering some of that stuff. And so now so you're on Amazon and.
Yeah, Amazon is not taking new clients until, well, it was supposed to be, I believe it was supposed to be June 1st, but I think it's now extended. They're not taking any new accounts until, things are a little bit differently. But in all reality, that's okay for me right now because I'm doing very well with just, my own personal guerrilla marketing and then my own social media. I have a website. I was actually supposed to launch it today, but I'm going to launch it tomorrow.
Okay. Please let me know when you launch it so I can put it up there and let everybody know about it.
No, it's dannyhands.com. It'll be up tomorrow.
Okay.
It's just connecting, the checking out for people to purchase.
Yep.
That has only been a little bit challenging because of the banks and their hours. It's just been a little difficult, but now we got it. So it'll be up tomorrow.
And so you've been in lockdown, you've been creating. On your downtime when you're not creating, what are you watching TV? Are you exercising? Are you eating really badly? What's going on?
So during this, a lesson learned during a pandemic, life still never stops. So I have a broken dog. She had to get emergency spinal surgery 3.5 weeks ago. So I am grateful that I am available, to be here. It was traumatizing. It's actually horrifying. And I'm doing PT with her right now and something I've never had to deal. So that has been very mentally tolling because I also have another dog, a 120-pound Great Pyrenees Lab. So having, to manage that, I would also find myself watching like the news a lot. And I love the news. Usually for me, I know how to separate it. I don't allow it to affect my days. But then I realized that it was affecting me because I would start stressing about oh my gosh, why are they saying this? Everyone's going to freak out. And so I've kind of taken a break from that. And I paint. So I've been doing a lot of my canvas painting. I really enjoy wine. So that's been a part of my, days. But I've been, I'm a pretty clean eater. I'm pretty good at being, active per se, especially with having dogs. Listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm a huge, huge podcast advocate. Mental fitness and mental stimulation are so important. And so for me, doing mantras or affirmations and, I strongly believe in them. And so, and just talking with friends, my best girlfriend in the entire world owns a chain of restaurants, and Luna Rosa, it's an Italian restaurant, and she's got 3 locations, and it's just talking and being able to hey, we didn't do anything wrong here, and just kind of reiterating that and just being vocal, about this sucks. Now and I don't know if you can relate, but I'm a woman that has been through a lot of challenges and has seen a lot of stuff. So for me, I feel like this isn't, I'm a little numb to it, to be honest. It doesn't, like, it scares me in a big picture, but I just feel like I've experienced a lot of, trauma to where I know I didn't do anything wrong, like I know that I'm not alone. And just having those conversations with other people and then also using my strength, that's a part of something I do often. If like, there's a lot, I'm sure there's a lot of people like losing their shit stuff. Sorry.
It's okay. I can't relate to being the woman part, but I can relate to everything else that you were saying. So no TV at all, no Netflix, no Amazon, none of that kind of stuff?
So Netflix and Huluing, it's insane.
What are you watching? You got to share.
Okay. So already watched the Ozarks, finished that. Good Girls. Oh my gosh, what is that one called? I can't remember. How to Get Away with Murder. Handmaid's Tale. They need to come out with their next season because I am like, that's like all I want. Of course, Tiger King.
Of course.
Right, you have recommendations? Give them to me. I'm a binge watcher.
I just finished Upload. Do you have Amazon?
Yes, I do.
Upload. It's really, really cute. It's called Upload. I don't know either actors in it, either the leads in it, but it's really good. But I'm a cheese ball anyways, so I like that kind of stuff. I'm also a little bit in the mob-esque kind of world, so Peaky Blinders on. What's that?
What's it about?
Upload?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. He's dead, I guess, and they upload him into this like computer world.
Wow.
It's really interesting, actually. At first, I was like, this doesn't look good at all, but I ended up binging through like the whole night, like the whole. I think it's like 8 episodes or 10 episodes or something. So,
have you seen Hollywood yet?
Mm-mm.
The new, oh my goodness. If you have not seen it, you have to watch it. I just watched the entire season in 2 days. Well,
is that Netflix or is that?
It's Netflix. Yeah, okay. It's pretty. It's not for kids at all, but it's so good. I think you would really like it. Give me that vibe.
Yeah. So a mob world. I go with Peaky Blinders, which is on Netflix.
Peaky Blinders. All right.
And if you watch it, you have to have the subtitles underneath it because they have really thick accents. But if it's, it's one of those things.
Where are they, like, what mob?
Is it? I think it's Irish mob.
Oh, okay.
But it's period piece. It's like way back. It's like it's been so long since I watched it, but I want to say it's around the 50s or the 60s or something. It's like really, it's really cool. I like those things because of the period part of it. You know what I mean? Like the clothing and the locations and all that kind of stuff.
Hollywood. Like you have to watch Hollywood.
Okay. And then on Amazon.
Amazon has their own series.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them, actually. They have Carnival Row, which is with Cara Delevingne and Orlando Bloom, which is great. They have, I think it's called Fleabag, which is, I haven't watched it, but everyone keeps talking about it. Something that won a bunch of Emmys was the Marvelous Maisels or whatever, that Mrs. I don't know what it is. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I don't know, whatever. But that one's also that's original content for Amazon, so they have a bunch of stuff like that. Do you have anything else besides Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon? Do you have like Disney or Apple or anything?
No. I actually have my cable is I go through Hulu, so I use Hulu cable to watch whatever is available. See, look at that. See, that's paint.
Nice.
But I listen to a lot of music too. Doing a lot of rearranging, things to keep myself busy. But TV wise, now I'm pretty much just Netflix and Hulu.
Do you live by yourself? Do you live near people?
Community. I live with my 2 dogs. This is my first time having my own house, so that's cool. They're smaller homes. They're really cute little community, brand new, a brand new vicinity or complex per se. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really good at living alone. I like living alone. Yeah, 32 and single. I'll be 32 in 2 weeks actually, or 10 days, something like that. But yeah, I'm one of those.
Are you planning on doing anything for your birthday?
Like, of course I would love to. I get to go to Stagecoach. I'm really bummed. I really, really wanted to do like a Stagecoach theme get together with some friends. So that's kind of in the works of being talked about. I am on Memorial Day weekend, so it's there's a lot going on. So yeah, I would like to, but don't really have anything planned. I don't really want just my friends to drive by in their car and honk and all that. It's not really my vibe.
Have you had people over the house? I mean, do you have at least some human contact? Not necessarily.
I do. Yeah. I've been very careful. About like a week ago is when I started being around more friends. I also have taken the antibody test. So I essentially already had coronavirus. So I know when I think I had it, but because I was never tested back in December, I don't know if, it really was coronavirus.
What's the antibody test? What's that one consist of doing?
And then you gotta it goes into a thingy and they put a little solution stuff and it's kind of like a pregnancy test. That's really what it looks like. And you wait and you just stare at it for 15 minutes waiting to see. Yeah.
Did you go to a doctor's office to do that?
No, I did. Well, it was not a doctor's office, but someone who works in that industry.
Okay. Well, that was it. I just wanted to, like I said, we've been Instagram friends for a couple of years now, and we've never actually had a conversation. So I just figured this would be a great time to do that. Plus, it was perfect timing because you're about to come out with this amazing sanitized line.
It's already out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On my birthday, I'm launching 2 new flavors.
Well, then I'm going to, the website will be up by the time this shows, so the links will be underneath here, so you can go and purchase this stuff. But the name of the show is Cool, Calm, Connected. I always say at this end, it's because I'm somewhat connected in this town and in this world, so I always offer
Where are you from?
Where am I from?
Like, where do you live?
I live in Studio City.
Oh, you're in LA.
Did
you see breaking news? You guys are in stay-home order now until August.
Yeah, I don't know, but I thought that was all of California.
Oh no, it just happened like right before we got on this call.
I went to Palm Springs yesterday to purchase a brand new vehicle, and when I got out there, it was like nothing ever happened. I walked into the dealership; they didn't have any masks. They had masks, but they didn't have them on. I had to drop off a lease and then Uber from one dealership to another one, which they're not close. And the Uber driver he had the mask hanging on his ear or whatever, and he's like, it's not mandatory out in Palm Springs right now, which actually means you could probably go and stay at a hotel out there. So you could potentially do something like that for your birthday.
I've been saying I want to go to Palm Springs. I've only been there for Stagecoach and I'd like to experience it. What kind of car did you get?
I got a Range Rover.
Okay.
It's, it is what it is. I'm in my car a lot. And I want to be comfortable, and I'm a brat when it comes to toys, so I just...
So why don't you have any photos on your Instagram?
Let me...
Now I'm taking over this interview.
Clearly, at the end of last year, I was working with a bunch of different production companies and people, and I decided at the beginning of this year that I was going to stop doing all that stuff and only work on the projects that I'm working on, the and I have 3 TV shows that are all in different stages of development, or were. Unfortunately, right now we're all in the back burner. And so, yeah, I just decided I was going to start over. So I deleted everything from Instagram, everything from Twitter, my Facebook, all that stuff. I mean, I have everything, but there's absolutely nothing in there. Well, that was good. That was easy, right? That was harmless. I didn't ask you anything you didn't like or whatever, and we got to. Okay, I know. I was just making sure.
You were get on here and start doing some crazy interrogation that I wasn't prepared for. But if I was prepared for it, I'd still do it. I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide.
All right. Well, thank you very much for doing this. I do appreciate this, and if you do need anything, to have your stuff pushed out in Beverly Hills or something, or if you want more celebrity clients, or if you want to cut my hair,
I got you.
Please feel free to. I would have to drive down to really far. Although I go to Disneyland a lot, so I it's not that far of a drive.
And you're gonna be so flabbergasted when I tell you that I've only gone to downtown Disney.
Oh my God. We're not friends anymore.
I wanted to go. I've been wanting to go, but now I can't. But yeah, I'm one of those.
But you've only how long you been out here for? How many years?
10 years. It'll be 10 years in November.
There was a girl friend of mine who 20 years old. She I'm friends with her brother. But she's 20 years old. She went to Hollywood high school. Like, she grew up in Hollywood, 20 years on this earth in Los Angeles, and never went to Disneyland. So,
well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. That's, so.
I've been to Universal, but that was oh gosh, that was probably 16 years ago.
Oh yeah. I have a season pass for Universal too, but I go there to work out. I don't really go there to ride any rides, so.
Work out? What, just walk around?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you very much one last time for doing this. I appreciate this, and that's it. Just give me all your social media stuff, your Instagram, so all that stuff like that, real quick.
Well, it's Lindsey_Lobianco is my personal, and then Sanny Hands. It's SANNIEHANDS. that would be it. And then sannyhands.com, which will be up when all the beautiful people watch your podcast.
Thank you very much for this, and I will hopefully talk to you soon.
I appreciate you want to interview me. I'm a very interesting person.
Yes, you are.
I said you're being next for your interview.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm curious.
I don't know how to end these things, so.
Hey, peace, love, and happiness. Home order, social distance, and remember, this pandemic is going to be our history one of these days.
Exactly. Perfect. Let's end it like that. That was perfect. Have a great day.
You too.
I'll talk to you soon.
Ciao.